Welcome to Chat With Me on the side. Today we have the wonderful Joel Strack with us. Woo, Joel! Thank you so much for being here. Joel was on our LGBTQ episode, and on that episode, it was like a quick little bleep. You mentioned this beautiful, wonderful thing, and I was like, oh, I want more information. So we couldn't do it that day because the episode can only be 25 minutes long, and we had 5 people with us. But today I have you all to myself, and I would love for you to tell me more about, you mentioned that you were instrumental in starting the Orlando Gay Pride Parade.
Yes, that's true.
Yay. So tell me, how did that come about? Were you guys just like sitting in a room one day and you're like, hey, I know what we need. We need a parade.
Yeah, it was actually very close to
Was
that.
it like that?
Yeah.
That's how I picture it.
I was sitting with a few other people from the center who were active leadership members at the center. And one of us, we had discussed the idea that, Orlando should have a pride parade. And there was a lot of naysayers, but 4 people stepped up. Myself, LeJune Perrin, Phyllis Murphy, and Brian Armick asked Hubert Miller. And we decided we would move forward with this concept. Started looking at how we were going to get funding, what the logistics were going to be, what date we'd pick, how we were going to promote it, all the things that it was going to take to make the parade viable.
Like, I wouldn't even know. Like, how do you just like start a parade? That's so cool. When was this? Like, what year do you think?
This was in the early 90s.
Early 90s. So we
Yeah.
got some time. The 20-something years.
Yeah. And I should note that the Orlando Pride Parade was different than what is happening now.
Okay.
Now we've got
Come
Come Out with Pride,
Okay.
and that's sponsored by the NBA. The Orlando Pride Parade lasted for about 5 years, and then it dropped off for a year, and then someone else took over. But it had a gap in it between our parade and when the Come Out with Pride started. We started out having the parade in June to celebrate Gay Pride. Yeah, we discovered that. Yeah, so we moved it from June to October after a few years because of National Coming Out Day. And the first parade was probably the biggest challenge because we didn't know what we needed.
And what's going to be, how it's going to be received, and how many people are going to show up, and what are you going to do? Tell me what it looked like. Tell me that day in 1990, 91-ish. What did that look like for all of you?
It was amazing.
Oh, I can't even, like, just the thought of it makes me get goosebumps. That's so cool.
Yeah, I had tears in my eyes.
Oh.
It was, it ran down one side, down Central, one side of Lake Eola, and then up to the band shell. And then we did a big production experience with a couple speakers, but mostly it was entertainment. The participants were about the same number as the observers.
Okay, yeah, I bet.
Which I found really interesting because I was expecting more people to come out and sort of check it out, in their camouflage.
Well, true, camouflage is. And there, I'm sure back in that time, there was probably some fear.
Oh. Not
just of outing themselves, but of what might happen if anybody retaliated or anybody,
I had a friend, Dan Grell, who was a teacher down in Osceola, and he came dressed as a clown with full white face because...
So that people wouldn't recognize him?
Right, because he was fearful for getting fired. And he told me, he said, Joel, what if there's a sniper on the roof? And I was like, what? A sniper on the roof?
And that was back then even, yeah. Wow.
But that's, now that I look over my shoulder, I'm like, that's a realistic fear. The second year was interesting because we had an extra group of people watching the parade. It was 7 fully garbed Ku Klux Klan members with signs.
Oh boy.
And it was, I encouraged the participants not to interact with them. Don't yell at them.
No matter what they say, no matter
Just ignore them. Don't give them the...
what they want.
Yeah.
Which is to upset you.
Yeah. And I've seen a couple pictures that different people have of them doing like this gay pose in front of the Ku Klux Klan members behind them, going,
oh my
you know, just mocking them.
wow.
And that was, it made me feel good that people were getting that relaxed.
To stand up for themselves and be out pridefully.
We had a number of groups, some of them the Metropolitan Business Association, the UCF student group, the center, the chorus. There was a number of groups that walked behind their banners, so that was cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And you paved the way.
Yeah.
You paved the way for people to be able to be prideful and to be able to step out of their comfort zone and be prideful and say, I'm here, I'm queer, whatever, wasn't that the same?
Yeah. I not only paved the way, I paved the way.
Oh my goodness, I hadn't even thought of that.
We didn't have enough money by the time we'd gotten to getting the parade certificate so that we could lock down the date and have rights to the street. So I paid for that. And then there were barricades that had to be put up to stop the traffic. So that was a little bit of a chunk. And the police, because we had 4 police officers, which now, oh my gosh, now the Come Out With Pride group has 12 police officers or more.
Has to be at least, yeah. You think 4 police officers, that's so minuscule in comparison to what
plus they go all the way around the lake. Plus there's spur of people waiting to get on to the parade route.
Wow, Joel, you are amazing, and I think what you've done for the LGBTQ community then, and I'm sure up until now, has been amazing. Thank you for paving that way and paying that way. And thank you for being here today.
Thanks. Yesterday, I actually was out at Hillsborough County, and I spoke to their students there about creating an inclusive LGBT campus.
He's still doing it. And
that was a cool experience. And the Z generation are so advanced. I have to do some studying, I think,
to learn all the correct terminology, to make sure you're right. It's true. There's a lot to learn, but
we keep moving forward, and it keeps getting better and better.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for joining us. You take care of yourselves, and don't forget to take care of each other.
Treat yourselves right.
You heard the man. Treat yourselves right.